Hey everybody, I'm Brother Mustard, you're at Grr-Must-Errd Gaming, and this video is just a quick question, and I'm super curious if I'm the only person that does this in Souls games. So, whenever I play any Souls games, and I'm going to cut together a bit of footage of my different characters, my different save files, we'll see how they are in different games. I can't remember if Sekiro even has this kind of thing, but we'll look at Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, and Elden Ring. Just to name a few, and then there's this one. But am I the only person that like doesn't use these? This is insane. Like the math on that, like the amount of ergo I am sitting on here and the amount of levels I could pump into my character that I have not is pretty disgusting. And then like these boss ones can be used also, right? Like, because you don't really need them anymore. I've got all the boss weapons and stuff. I'm probably not going to use them, so I'm just super curious. Like, does anyone else do this? Do you play through these games like this? And to be fair and honest, like another thing I notice is like if you check out my health bar, the health bar is ridiculously big right now, but it's never like that. Like I don't know, I watch people play on YouTube, other streamers, like some of the professional streamers, and a lot of them like crank their health up. And when I first started playing Souls games, Bloodborne was my first, the guy who kind of taught me how to play, he's a lunatic, and it's you always pump your damage. You don't pump, you start pumping health just when you really feel you need it, like you're really dying in one hit. And if you watch some of my stuff and you've seen it, you probably hear some of my frustration, and like, does that account for it? Like, you know, like if I pump more into health, would I rage less because I'd survive these encounters? But at the same time, I always felt that you go no health, you get good, you understand the patterns, you kill them, and you build into your damage so that like you can one hit, two hit things. That's the goal. So I like me, and I have two other friends, Fenin24, who, if you've seen my videos, you've seen him around, and then Hempman. We play all our Souls games together, pretty much, all the ones we can, and we're all like this. And I just wonder, I'm curious, get in the comments, share this video, talk about it, get it circulating in the community, because yeah, like, am I insane? Like I was mentioning in my last recording for this, I'm in New Game Plus Plus. I'm doing a run where I'm using just like aggressive Legion arms, boss weapons, and throwables, like heavy, and I'm having a blast. It's so much fun. But I was talking about like spending all that ergo before I go into the nameless puppet fight, and like just cranking myself up to be a bit stronger, because that's one of the best Soul style boss fights ever made in a Soul style game, like in my opinion. That is the Lady Maria, that is Malenia, and that's what it is. But yeah, like I like, is this sure lunacy? Am I just torturing myself? Like, is this stupidity? Like, I'm such a hoarder. Like, you should see my Fallout 4 save and like how much stuff I have built into my like base and like the things I have in storage. Like, I'm so bad that I hoard the resource. And I think I like to play on an aspect like maybe I enjoy setting myself back. I like making it more of a challenge. But as now I'm starting to do more YouTube content and put videos up, like I look at my videos and I watch and I play them and I watch back, and I try to put like what's all in there. But sometimes when I'm up against a boss for like 2 hours, I cut out that junk in between and I put in like 1 or 2 deaths, and then I put in the winning run. But it's like, why am I doing this to myself? Am I the only person that does this? Is anyone else on this wavelength? Am I totally that much of a megalomaniac? Am I that maniacal? Yeah, super curious. So let me know what you think, and I hope you enjoy this video. Like and subscribe if you're not already. Thanks for spending your time here. Adios. Alright, so here we have my co-op character in Lords of the Fallen. This is Zabunzi, and I just wanted this to be the next showing of my inability to use resources the game gives to you. I want to give Lords of the Fallen some credit, though, seeing as I feel like they don't hand these out quite as much, not quite as like candy, and the volume of Souls, vigor, whatever you want to call it, echoes they give in them is scaled back quite a bit. You know, like there's nothing really worth 20,000 and plus, so to their credit, I feel like they don't go insane with them. And part of the reason I don't use these things is because I always feel like you get to the end game, even throughout the entire game, you're going to find areas you can farm, areas that you can capitalize on whatever the commodity is for upgrading,
really quickly, and you can do it like in an hour. You can get enough to get a couple levels, 2, 3 sometimes, until you're like deep in, and then even when you're deep in end game, you find better farms that again will reward you that 2, 3 levels in an hour. So maybe I just don't use these, but yeah, get in on the conversation. Like, is this lunacy or what? Am I a megalomaniac? Do I just like to suffer? Again, health bar. You watch streamers, my health bar is not that big. Let's go. Let's go check out my other character here. I have a solo character. Both these characters are done. Okay, so here is my Radiant Sorcerer. Strength dex build, so mixed in weaponry. I've said it before, I'll say it again. This game favors magic, so any type of infernal, radiant, or umbral sorcery, and strength weapons. You can get a few dex weapons that shine, but nothing. The strength weapons far outpace everything. You want to do a heavy build in this game. But as I had mentioned before, both these characters are done. They're done the story. I'm not done with them. I don't know if I'll go into New Game Plus or New Game Zero to do any trophy hunting or story questing stuff anytime soon. I might let this game gestate a little longer. I've said many times, if you watched any of my videos about it, I have some serious rage about this game, and it should have been delayed. It should have come out in 6 months to a year beyond when it did. 2023 did not need any extra game releases. It was already like bursting at the seams. That being said, this was Lords of the Fallen was potentially my most anticipated game of the year with Zelda, with all this. Remnant 2 was kind of stealth released on us, which is my game of the year, but this game could have taken some more time in the oven, and like if it had launched with less bugs and a lot less jank, it has horrible jank, it could have beat Lies of P for best Souls-like, but unfortunately it sets it back. Now though, let's take a couple look at that health bar. So this is an end game. I finished the game like this, and yeah, the health bar. I don't know. Vitality 20 points is it? Again, I think I'm a little crazy. And then we go down, and oddly enough, so it looks like I used a few more. I know I had to crank my carry weight up, and I was putting a lot into carry weight, so I have a lot less. This character only did one playthrough, where you got to imagine my co-op character ran my storyline and my co-op partner's storyline together, so that's double the playtime. So you think, well, this one has a third, so it kind of makes sense for where we're at. But again, like, just all stacked up. Get in the comments, is it crazy? Should I be putting more points into health? Should I actually just try that? Should I do like a Dark Souls 3 run and pump points into health, or even Bloodborne? I don't know if I can do Bloodborne, to tell you the truth, because Bloodborne is a different beast when you start stacking up your damage. Like, it's really crazy. But maybe Dark Souls 3 I try. Maybe I start a new character when I do another character, because I want to do an Umbral Sorcerer. I was thinking about speccing this one into Umbral Sorcery and then doing New Game Plus, doing a respec. But pump a lot of points into health and scale everything else down and see what the difference is. So yeah, what do you think in the comments? Again, thanks for showing up and tuning in. We're gonna go take a look at some From Software titles next and see what kind of stupidity I've gotten into there. All right. Okay, I completely actually forgot. I wasn't even thinking about it, but here we have the Demon's Souls remake for PlayStation 5. The best launch title on PlayStation 5. We're looking at my primary character, the first character I made. This is Caesonia. Again, a Dex magic build kind of thing. A little more focus on Dex in this one. I definitely went more melee. But if we take a look at what's going on in my inventory here, this is, again, yeah, it got a little hoardy here. And now, I do think farming was potentially a lot easier in this game than any of the other ones, but the amount of souls I have saved up is just kind of ridiculous. And yeah, a lot of them are in special boss souls here, which you can spend or you save for the resource. This game is platinum, so that's all done. I could use all this stuff for whatever I want, really. I did the full coin farm also, all of that stuff in the alternate, what would they be, the light and dark instancings. So I think this is a fair amount. That's a pretty good amount of souls saved up here. So yeah, I do have that issue with hoarding, and for sure, I think maybe I'm gonna try to change it and start using these a bit more. Like, they don't need to sit in the inventory. Like, there's no point in not. And on one more note with this game, this is the best looking. Like, people were talking about Lords of the Fallen and how beautiful Lords of the Fallen is and how it's like a true PS5 next gen. It's like the first real, and it's like, this game is this game is leaps and bounds better looking. One thing I find about this game, and it might be because of where it comes from, is it's like it has a slower pacing to it. Like it just the Lords of the Fallen has this like it's like your character's on meth, man. They're all hopped up on speed, and that's not exactly something I'm in love with. Like it presented its own problem, but this game feels very, very slow jumping into it and playing again. And like I'm not too heavy of a build. Like I'm always usually a mid roll, right? So that's a good roll, but it has a feel when you play it. But like come on, like this game is so gorgeous, and actually like a pretty simple, quick playthrough. So it's not that bad. I don't know when I'd hit the channel with a full run on Demon Souls, but yeah, love this game too, and definitely you can see the progression in the way I do from the earlier games I played using those resources and commodities to the later ones where I'm maybe sitting on a bit too much stuff. So again, thanks for dropping in, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you come back for more of my content. Okay, everybody, welcome to Bloodborne. Yeah, wow, wild. It's crazy to think this video will be my first ever footage of Bloodborne. The first Souls game I ever played, the first From Software title I ever played, the first From Software title I ever paid attention to and said, hey, I'm probably never going to play that game. And here we are. Here we are. This is this character's name is Jerkface, and he was my first, and he's my highest level. I think 181. Let's take a look at the inventory here. So, oh man, I can't even navigate it. It's been so long. Upgrade materials. Consumables, yeah, they gotta be in here. Cold Blood Dew, Thick Cold Blood, Frenzied, Kin Cold Blood, Kin... Yeah, it looks like I've gone through a pretty good amount. Skull of the Enlightened. So this isn't too bad. This is not what I thought it would be. So, again, a few stacks later on, but it looks like I went through a good chunk of this. Maybe I'm just deteriorating in my old age. Now, Vitality 45. The health bar is pretty good. Again, this character's seen probably 3 playthroughs of this game. Full completion of Platinum Trophy for this. And yeah, dude, it's looking at this game, you forget how this is one of the greatest Souls-likes ever made. And like, I'm kind of on the fence. Like, you know, everyone asks what's your favorite. Like, Bloodborne really sits high on there for me. Dark Souls 3 and then Sekiro, like all 3 of those games are kind of like I can't pick. Like Sekiro is so unique. The setting of Bloodborne versus the setting of Dark Souls 3, hugely different to me. And I just love them all. Of course, Elden Ring, like there's really no contest anymore. Elden Ring kind of owns everything. It does everything. It's done it so well. It's all fantastic and beautiful. Let's go check out my other character for Bloodborne. My other high-level character, because I have another low-level also. But let's see what's going on with my other character, see what their stacks are like. Alright, so here we have my other alt character. This is the character I created and ran through the game with the trio run with Hempman, Fennin, and myself. Again, very end-game character here. I believe right now we are working Chalice dungeons. You can see where they're activated up to, and we were doing a Chalice dungeon push for the Platinum Trophy for Hitman, but that kind of fell off. Let's see what's going on with this one. Did I use? Yeah, so this one actually I soaked him up, so it's good to know. It's definitely to a point where it's in the later game stuff that as I'm getting further in, I'm not using them, and I'm finding myself doing more farming, so that's good to know. And like I said, I do need to soak those up. Man, super low vitality and stamina on this character. Absolutely wild. Also, the minimalist HUD is something I just appreciate so much. It's such a good thing. But yeah, so get in the comments. What's it like? What's it like in your games? Does everybody tend to use those up right away? Do they save them? Do any people like hoard them like I do? Maybe Lies of P is just getting out of hand because A, they hand out way too many. Like I'd mentioned about Lords of the Fallen, like I really respect how much you get for each and how many they give you. Where Lies of P, it's like, it's just candy. One of the things about Lies of P that the devs are also managing is making it easier and more accessible. I think you try to maintain and attract the player base. It's understandable, you know. I think Miyazaki and From Software are like one of the few companies that will shirk off anything people have to say. Like, it's almost like if you ask them to make it easier, they'll make it harder, and that's where Get Good comes from. And Lords of the Fallen, again, like, the difficulty on Lords of the Fallen only comes from being able to navigate crowds. If you have a good weapon that can clear mobs, like, you're pretty much on point. Like, most of the bosses I wiped, like, first round. Like, some of the last ones where it's like, I don't know if they took away summons to make it harder or what, but, like, it didn't take a lot of work, and it wasn't really a challenge. Like, bosses in these games are hours of practice and understanding their movesets and how they attack and where to be, your ranges, what defenses to use, what kind of status effects do you need to, like, ward off and stuff like that. So yeah, big difference. And geez, Bloodborne is brilliant. So hopefully we can get a little peek at Dark Souls 3 character here, which has been a long time, and we'll see where we're at with that. And from there, I think this will wrap up the video. So yeah, I'll be back with another game and continue the discussion. Is this madness? Should the health bar be longer? Does anyone else hoard their commodity resources? Consumables, I should say. Okay. Alright, here we are. So, holy health bar, Batman. That's absolutely wild. This is my only character, though, so this character has played quite a bit of this game. 3 full playthroughs, back to back to back. Look at the graphical issues are kind of funny, man. Like, this is wild. This is on my PlayStation 5. I actually just installed this. I didn't realize I didn't have this installed. Me and the friends have been talking about booting this up and doing a fresh playthrough, which is not a bad idea because the game is still so freaking awesome. With that being said, though, what the hell was that? Oh, we got... with that being said, we check inventory here, and you'll notice that, yeah, the commodity is quite low. So I have been using on this one, so that is good to know and good to see. I guess it's as I'm getting older and playing more of these, I'm just getting less diligent with the use and making sure I crank up my power level. So I think if we can get the conversation going, I'm definitely going to suck up all that ergo and Lies of P. And hopes are that potentially in the future, depending on what the game drought's like, now that the AAA season for 2023 is over, you know, I think a run on Sekiro is kind of what I'm really after. I think it's what I really want to play. But we'll see what happens. And like, it would just be great to kind of put these games up on the channel. And really showcase that because, yeah, From Software, Soul-style games, definitely, like, my favorite genre. Absolutely love all of it. Just so good, so phenomenal. Even, like, a fresh Elden Ring playthrough is not a bad idea. I have a Bleed character that I'm building on my PC because I actually bought the game on PS5 and on PC because I have a Steam Deck, so to take it with is amazing. And it would be pretty cool to do a fresh run in Elden Ring, especially since it's so hyped. So let's we'll just pop over. We'll check out my Elden Ring character last and go from there, because I'll be interested to see what kind of gear I have on my Elden Ring character. So thanks for tuning in. Get in the comments. What do you think? Are health bars a necessity? Do they help alleviate a lot of the stress? Is it madness to go without and try to spec into damage a lot more? What are your thoughts? Because with endgame characters, like, you know, I'm definitely pumping into vitality. Like, this guy shows. My Bloodborne character also, though he's got quite a few playthroughs, and yeah, it's a bit debatable about what is and is not needed and what can help alleviate the stress of these crazy games. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming along, and let's hop over to Elden Ring and see what's going on. Okay, everybody, so I thought I'd take a moment and pop into Sekiro. Now, Sekiro is a very different beast, and again, like, I think Sekiro is one of my favorites because of how different it is and the way the combat in it is built. But you don't really gain levels like you do in all the other From Software and Souls types games. There's nothing inventory-wise for that, but I went through and I've definitely got a bit of dough. I've definitely got some stuff to spend, so I would consider this like hoarding of resources. Though in Sekiro, I feel like this is like a little bit more unnecessary. You just like you use your coins for specific things and to buy stuff, and that is true, but like it's not the same as like level ups, whereas with Sekiro everything is skill based and built off of, you know, just unlocking your skills and leveling up that way. So I don't quite classify it the same as like that Vigor, Ergo, Souls, Blood Echoes type thing, but I definitely think it still kind of holds a little bit of a precedent to it, and it shows maybe where the hoarding really started kicking in. So Bloodborne was first, and there was a little bit. Dark Souls 3 was after Bloodborne actually, and I used most of those. Then Sekiro before Elden Ring. So let's see what Elden Ring's got going on, and that'll really kind of seal the deal here. Also, I didn't really ask, what is everybody's favorite Souls game? What's your favorite Souls? What's your favorite Souls like? What are people into? What are we after? And I think if I start replaying any From Software games, Sekiro is going to be my first. Absolutely, like, love it, and it could use another playthrough. When I platinumed Sekiro, I remember I could run the whole game. I think it was about 45 minutes to boss run to get the trophies on like the alt boss kills and stuff that I needed. So yeah, I love Sekiro. All right, Elden Ring next for real. All right, best for last, as always, Elden Ring. Oh yeah, what a game. Oh my god, and it's so beautiful, so crazy. Absolutely love it. Now let's see how incredibly ridiculous I am with this. Let's see if it's like the others. Here we go. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not too crazy at all. It's a fair amount, but nothing too insane. And I think maybe like this ends the debate that it's like maybe I don't hoard these too bad at all. Like I'm not too crazy with any of the games, but Liza P hands them out way too heavily, way too heavily, and it could probably use a cut down. Now I definitely save a few, I always do, and like I think like I consider these mostly like used for storefronts and purchasing items. Like I've mentioned, if I want any of the commodity, runes in this case or whatever, I go and farm them, and that's kind of the way it works with that. So to be fair, I don't think this is too wild. I think this is about normal. I think anyone else would be about here if you're through the game and you feel good and you're comfortable. But the other people like spend them like crazy. Do they put them all in the bank and like hold them like I do? What is the normal thing? And yeah, oh, Elden Ring. What a beautiful game. God, yeah, the best Souls game made for sure. Like there's nothing compares, like the scope and scale, the grandeur, the way it plays, all of it. So fantastic. Get in the comments. What's your favorite Souls game? What's your favorite Souls like? What do you think about that? Like should I spec into health more? Like potentially? Should I like think about like changing the way I play, like the way I've been taught and how I do things? I'm not positive. Like I really like I do like that. And like look at the size of this health bar. This health bar is huge. Again, like you go ahead and look, like once your character level is 175, like 40 points into vigor, that's one of the highest, right? That's one of my highest traits. Strength is low, mind is low. I'm a mixed build. I always play like a dex magic build is kind of my favorite, my go-to. I should definitely do a strength character if I'm going to do another Elden Ring on PlayStation 5, because again, I do have a PC character, but he's going hard arcane, like definitely a bleed build, dex for sure. But yeah, let's talk about it. And like I said, thanks for spending your time with us. Thanks for coming around. I'm just super curious. That's what this video is for. I'm so interested. Give me a huge solid and smash that like button before you head out. and subscribe if you're not part of the community already. Adios.